Okay, so we're back in our game again, and what we're going to look at now is how to actually change from one tile map to another. So obviously here we've got our tile map, and we've got an entrance sort of area, some stairs over here. Now I've changed the kinds of sprites here so we can move around, but that's just so we can go past them. And what we want to happen is when we walk on the steps, they're all the way up here, for it to load another tile map. So what we have to do now is we've got to tell it when to change. So we're going to change when we land on that tile. Remember, that's the set of stairs. So what we're going to do first of all is going to change the player, so when we're testing it, we don't have to run like anything. So we're just going to start at 8.6. So we're just nice and close to it. And it's really nice idea to, as you're testing things, keep a track of it. But also, so you don't have to go through everything. I changed the kind, and I've just set it here. So I can test that individual element and make sure it works without having to go back through everything else. Now we need to have an event of when we hit that tile, and that's the only time that tile has been used in the game, so I don't have to worry about that. So I'll go to the scene menu, scroll down, and on sprite of kind player overlaps with tile at its location. So that goes in there, and in here, if I click on it, it's all the tiles I've used so far in the game, and what I want is this one here. That's the steps. That's the only time I've done those. I click on those. Now it's ready, and I can set what I want to do. And the first thing I want to happen is from scene, I need to load or set another tile map. I'm going to drag and drop that block into there. So we're going to make our new tile map now. So the block's set up, click on there, and just as usual, we can set the size, and we can keep this nice and small because it's just going to be a little cave. But again, depending on what you're doing, you can make that. So we'll go through the dungeon, and I'm going to go in, and I'm just going to make a really simple tile map and put in some of the blocks. So here we've got our tile map, finishing touches, and again, depending on how big you're making these, you can spend time on them, but it's there. Other things too I've got to make sure I think about is I need a unique tile for actually getting back out of my tile map. So rather than use the stairs, I'm going to use this nice sort of piece of rug. And I'm going to put that there. And various other things that might happen, but treasure chest in here. And there we've got that set up. So we go done. It's back here. Wait for the game to refresh. And now we go in. You can see we start at the side. So still a few more things that need to be done with this. First of those being where the player is actually going to start. So we go back to scene. And again, tile map operations, place my sprite on top of tile map because we've got to position him in here. We go to the tile map. We don't want to start on this tile because that's going to trigger our exit. So one in front of it. So that's column 5, row 8, 5, 8. And we'll just now test that that works. Again, always checking before we go too far because if it doesn't work, we'll need to go back and do it. There we go. Let's start it on there. Can't go out yet, but that's what comes next. So now we're going to set up just moving out of this tile map so we can come back to the map. And then obviously all the other things we've done, like triggering events when we go over other tiles for messages or scores or questions or anything like that, we can add in after. Now, just like we went into the tile map, we've got to come out of it by going on a unique tile, and that's where this piece of carpet appears. So go back to scene. Another one of these overlap blocks, but again, picking that unique tile that I've done. And if you're using the same tiles, you can always go into the editor and just modify them slightly. Just, add another pixel worth of color somewhere just to differentiate it within the menu so you can pick it. But now we load another tile map. So you can drag in the blocks, you can pick them from the gallery, or you can just duplicate your original one, drop it in. The difference here is we got to set where we come out to effectively where we are. You don't want to come out onto the tile that you go in at because otherwise you're going to end up in a bit of a loop. The same way you don't want to go into the map on the tile that you're going to sort of come out of, otherwise you'll end up with a loop and your games will crash. So I need another place my sprite block. That goes on here, and I'm just going to go back to my map, and I'm going to come just this tile here, which is column 9, row 6. So it's column 9, row 6. Now, sort of all my other sprites should still be in place, obviously, depending on if they've been destroyed or not through the game. You might sometimes find you have to destroy them or move them out of the way, so they're not going to appear on this new tile map. But now, if we look, we can go into our new tile map, we can wander around quite nicely, and then we can come out and we can continue on our adventure through here.